and welcome back to Liberations Publishing. And once again, this is the favorite part of my show where we get to interview one of my authors. And today we have with us Mr. Stephen Wayne Edwards. Hi, Stephen.
How you doing, Nicole? It's good to be here today.
I know, I'm so glad to have you here. You are one of my favorite authors. Really, everybody's my favorite, but you are really one of my favorites because we actually worked together for a few years. And now we're sitting here to talk about your two books.
Yeah, it's amazing what the Lord can do when you let the Lord take control.
Yeah, it really is because we started off together and you did your first book, For Your Soul, and this is a book of poetry. Tell us a little bit about what made you write the book.
Well, basically, it's basically because I was beaten and adopted and all that. So basically, I wanted to show the people that whatever you going through in life, that is not your predestination. That the Lord can heal you and save you and forgive you for anything you do. So once I seen that for myself in my life, then I said, well, if the Lord can save me, then He can save anybody. So that's what I put it down in writing for, and hopefully maybe somebody else don't have to go through some of the stuff I went through, and maybe it helps lead somebody to Christ.
Exactly. I love how you put that too, that when you found out for yourself that God will forgive you, that you can't be so bad that He won't forgive you when you come to Him and ask Him for forgiveness.
Well, see, all my life, that's what people told me. Said, well, all the bad you done did, well, God's not going to forgive you anyway. So
yeah.
That's what I basically went through my life believing until this preacher said, well, go to the altar for yourself. And so, like I said, when I went to the altar for myself, then like a red light went off. Like, hey, if God can save me, He can do this for anybody. And so that's when I started writing. Like, and a lot of these poems in the book, it's about my life, but it's also about people I helped on the way. Mm-hmm. It's a very uplifting book and very spiritual book.
Yeah, it really is, and you really did really well with For Your Soul. He Took My Place. I even like the cover. You know, the concept of, you know, you're on the cross, but then Jesus taking your place on the cross. That's a powerful statement, even just from the cover itself. And you get a lot of I know that a lot of people were amazed about that cover. A lot of people ask you about that cover.
Yeah, they was asking, like, why are you on the cross? Is that you trying to say that you're Christ? And now what I told them, I said, no, if you read the book, it's like the two thieves is on the cross.
Yeah.
You was finna get ready to get crucified for the wrongdoing you did. But I told them, if you turn to the back of the back cover, you'll see that Christ took my place, and it's Him on the cross instead of me. And so that's why I was looking up and like, do you really did this for me?
Yes,
and
yes.
So in the book, that's my introduction. I'm like, how you think somebody just saved your life by carrying on their message? And
exactly.
And so that's the only way that I can help Christ. I mean, thank Christ for what He did by carrying on His message and telling other people what He did in my life, because I thought it wasn't going to be possible. Because they told me by 18 I was going to be in prison or dead. And I ain't never been to prison. You see, I'm not dead. So, I mean, God has really put His hands in my life and showed me if you listen to Him and believe in what He can do for you. And just like I said, and I know if He can do that for somebody like me, He can do it for anybody.
Exactly. That's how I feel, Steve. If He can save me, He can save anybody else.
Because I thought there wasn't no hope, because that's what everybody said. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just destined to go to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of mindset. But in the book, that's what I tell people from the beginning to the end, that that's not right, that's not a true statement. That God is here to forgive you for whatever you did, as long as you believe that He died, that Jesus Christ died on the cross and He rose again. And so that's the message in the book, you know. And the whole book was inspired by God, because even with the cross, I was like, Lord, you want me to put? Do you know how much controversy this is going to be? And He was like,
right.
Whose book is this?
Exactly.
And even when we went to like New York and different places, when I was while going and ministering to people, they were like, well, I knew they couldn't afford it. But like
Right.
one time I was finna walk away, and the Lord was like, give the person the book. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so I was like, Lord, and, you know, sitting there arguing, this book cost $15, and the Lord said, whose book is it? So I
Exactly.
seen that it was easier just to follow God and let Him have His way, because He gonna have His way anyway.
That's what he is. He really is gonna have his way anyway, so you might as well listen to him.
And you really don't know what a blessing you can be to somebody until you actually try and go out and try to and listen to them, just to listen to somebody, and just to talk to somebody and tell them that you love them, or God loves them, or somebody loves them. That means a whole lot in their life, which they might go out and try to shoot themselves or something if you turn them away. You
You're
never.
right.
So
You're right.
I try not to. When somebody wants me to help them, I try to, even though if I'm busy or whatever, I try to sit there and listen to their problems and
Yeah.
see if what I can give them a solution. If nothing else, I tell them, look, go to church, try God. You know, God loves you, and I
Right.
try to leave them with the scripture, or
Right.
tell them about God's love. That's what I be telling them about when I get before I leave them. I tell them about God's love and how He put Jesus in a plan to die on the cross for us, to forgive us for all this what we did.
Yeah.
But see, if
Yeah.
you don't know about Jesus Christ, and then you ain't gonna know about His forgiveness and His love.
Exactly. And that's a beautiful story. You know, that God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son for us. You know, and it's something that you hear more messages of condemnation and hell. If you don't get right, you're going to hell. You know, you got to stop doing this. You know, you wicked. You like your father, the devil. We hear more of that than the gospel of Jesus Christ's love. That all this came into being because God loved us.
But I believe that's another trick of the devil to try to keep us in that mindset where we won't try to go to God, even try to get saved and none of that. We won't even try to dig no further. We just accept that for face value, and we don't try to do no better. We're like, well, we're going to hell anyway. We might as well do what we're going to do. Because I had that mindset for a long time. I'm like, well, if I'm going to prison or going to be dead by 18, I might as well live like I want to live.
Exactly.
And like I said, as I seen different, when God saved me, I seen different. Like, oh, this what they saying, that ain't even true.
That's not how it works.
That's not God's love at all.
That's not.
But
It's not.
a lot of times they try to put a label on God like they try to put a label on us. But see, God's mind ain't our mind. So you know, and so once we realize that, then and that's how that whole book got wrote, because like I told people, they like, you wrote that book. Yeah, I wrote it, but it was God inspired me, because it was sitting down, I'm writing it, you know, and words come down. So however God wanted that book, that's how it was. And He said, this is my book, and this is how, even from the beginning, I want you on the cross. I'm like, okay, Lord, it's going to be a lot of controversy, but He's like, I want you on the cross. The controversy is what's going to make people read the book.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, Lord. And so that's when I came to you. I'm like, I need this on the cross. And the book, and then like you were saying, you also got to do a lot of advertising, you know, publicity. You know, you got to go to these places. You got to talk to these people. You know, it just ain't gonna come. You know, it just ain't gonna come for free or nothing in just your hands. You got to work for it.
You got to put your work into it.
You got to put your work in if you want.
You do.
If you want to succeed in doing anything, you got to put your work. And God showed me plenty of times, if I go out there and do what He wants me to do, don't worry about, and He's even told me this, don't worry about the selling of the books. I'm going to do that. I want you to go out there and minister to people. Even when we was at the mall about a month ago, I wasn't really concerned about selling the books, because I was going through the mall ministering to people. So that was my main goal. Now, we were selling the books, but that was like a plus, you know. If I can lead somebody to Christ and sell the book, well, that's a plus.
That's a plus. Yeah, that's extra.
But I always go with the verse, what does a man gain if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? So, So I always kind of, when I'm going out there and doing and telling people about my book and everything, I always take that scripture with me. It ain't gonna do me no good if I gain the whole world and then I lose my soul. So that ain't gonna do me no good. So I tried God's way. I already tried my way all these years and I failed. So I had to try something new. So,
Exactly.
but once you get, when I told a bunch of people, once you get actually touched, once Jesus Christ actually touches you,
Hmm.
you're not gonna be the same person.
No, you're not.
You're gonna
No,
see
you're
something.
not.
You're gonna see something because He gonna touch the inside of you.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Now, everybody else, it don't matter what they think, or
Exactly.
it's about what God has got for you and what plans He got for you.
Exactly.
Because I'm pretty sure that you didn't think that you were gonna be on no TV show or nothing. You know,
Not at
that's
all.
when you first started out. You know, so
Not at all. It was not in my plan to have a TV show. You know, it was all in God's plan. Just like you said, when God touched you, you're going to change. You know, you're going to change. He touched the heart. And when He touches your heart, you become a new person. You think about Him, you live Him, you sleep Him. Everything that you do is surrounded around the Father and His Son, Jesus Christ. You know, like you said, carrying on the message of the cross and the love of God. That's what so many people have to hear. And that's what your book, For Your Soul, I mean, the poems are for your soul. They make you think. They're comforting. And they help you, they give you a peek into different things in life that people are going through, you know, and help people see what you were going through in your life and how far God has brought you from, you know, because,
yeah.
you know, people were so surprised that you had the book. They were like, you wrote a book? You know, everybody was so excited about that.
I was excited because the book, but like I told you, I had wrote the book in like 2000.
Right.
And so it's amazing that the stuff that I wrote 2000, it still applies to 2018.
It does.
And,
It does.
and that really what amazed me that I went back and was looking at some of the stuff that I wrote
Yeah.
in 2000. I was like, this stuff still applies to now. I said, okay, Lord, I see what you got. And see, in 2000, I couldn't see what plans God had for me.
Right.
He just do this and do that.
Right.
And
right,
but
right,
I couldn't
right,
see it.
right.
But I still went on with God and followed His plan. Like, okay, Lord, you. And I was just writing them down, notebooks, saving them on the computer.
Right.
But I never. And I told the Lord, I said, well, Lord, if I can have my book in just one store
Yeah.
where I could sell it, then I would be happy.
Yeah.
But now it's in all kind of stores on
Yeah.
Oklahoma Main Street, the Mall at Barnes Crossing.
It
You can order it
is.
on your
It's
phone.
a lot of
you know,
books.
you
A lot
know.
of bookstores.
So the Lord, He's done exceeded my goal to what I set for myself.
Exactly. And the thing about it, you got all these bookstores. You did the legwork. You put in the work, and you were able to reap the benefits of it because you're one of the few authors that I published that actually made back everything you paid, like within like your first sales. You made back all your money with your first order.
Yeah, I think when we had the book signing on at Turner's Flower Shop,
Yes.
I think we sold like $750 worth of books.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
so-
Yes.
so like you said, you had to put in the work.
You
had
have
to
to
go
put in the work.
telling people, passing out this, and
Yes.
you know, and just telling people. But the main thing, like I said, it's and I done told a bunch of people, it's not about the book. It's about leading people to Christ and seeing how many people. And he said if you can just get one, you know, you're doing your job. But I want to try to get multitudes, you know.
Exactly.
That way my blessing and my crown will be in heaven, you know.
Exactly. But a store of treasures in heaven. You know, that's what you're doing. Storing up treasures with the Father. Because you're obedient, you did what He said, you got the book. And not only did you have one book, then you did soul searching sermons, which is just absolutely wonderful.
Well, soul searching sermons, it was kind of funny how it started because as I was finishing this book, my pastor, Brother Truman Carter, he was like, well, you think you could write something that my family remember me by? He's still in good shape. So I was like, yeah. So as he was doing the sermons, I was writing them down. And then sometimes we'd get a recorder and record them. And so I write my notes down and then I go home and write down. And then a lot of times I'd pass them out and I'd pass out the notes. We call it the good word of the day. We used to I still work at United. I used to go to United. I passed the papers out, put them on everybody's desk, put them
Yeah.
on all the machines,
Yeah.
and just put them everywhere. Everything the preacher was preaching about that week. I would pack. Everybody at United would get to hear about it because a lot of people weren't going to church.
Right.
So
Right.
God told me to bring church to them.
Exactly. Which is what we're all supposed to be doing.
Yep, that's what we all supposed to be doing. So
Yes.
and so that's how that's how soul searching sermons came, because we got to the end. We got to the end of it and had enough sermons in the book. So I brought that one to you, and you fixed that one up for me too. And that was more proud of that one because my preacher is actually involved in that.
Right.
You know, so
Right. Pastor Truman.
and that just put a smile on his face.
It really did.
And
It
that
really did.
that made him up. And I like it. Sometimes for me, if I can help somebody, it's always not gotta be me. But if I can help somebody else out, it puts a smile on my face to see a smile on your face.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
So you know that's kind of what I'm going through with my books and stuff
Yeah.
is trying to show somebody they can better themselves and try to see if I can help them out and you know give them a good word and see if you get encouragement, because it's easy to kick somebody when they down. I mean,
Yes, it is.
but I mean, really, what are you doing when you kick somebody when you're down? They already down. So.
Exactly.
But what you're supposed to do, the same way you was in that ditch, you're supposed to grab a hand and you're supposed to pull them back up.
Exactly.
Because somebody got you out of that ditch.
Somebody got us up.
Somebody got you up. So
Somebody got
so the
us up.
same way somebody else got you up, you're supposed to be trying to get somebody else up.
Exactly.
And not kicking them when they down and all that, you know.
Exactly.
And when I was younger, that's what, because I had so much anger in me,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
then that's what I would do, especially if you mess with me, trying to
Right.
bully me or whatever. You
Right.
got everything I was dealing with, all the beatings and all that. But when I got older, I think that's not, when I got older and the fighting and all that, that's too much anyway.
Right. Right.
But I seen God, that wasn't God's plan.
Right.
And
Right.
so his plan was for me to minister to people through my writing.
Exactly.
And see, I didn't even know for a long time what my goal, my purpose in life was.
Right.
But when I went to this church and it was in Oklahoma, and his son mama died, and I wrote a poem called "The Mother's Love."
Yeah. I
and-
remember that poem.
And so basically it was saying a mother's love will always be a passion with something you didn't want to see, but a mother's love don't feel no more pain. And basically around them concepts. And so when I got through writing it, I got through reading it at the church, the
Yeah.
whole church started crying.
Yeah.
And so when I walked out of the church, and then when they got through, they shook my hand, told me how, and so I was like, if I can write something down just playing,
Yeah.
you know, and helped out, and all these people started crying. I wonder what I can do if I actually started trying. And so
Yeah.
from that point
Yeah.
on, I started trying.
Yeah.
You know, I started trying and put my whole heart into it.
Right.
And then everybody started coming to me. Can you write this for me? Can you write this
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah.
And so as I was writing the stuff down,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Book. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and then I used to write stuff that was so good that these people said, yo, you copied this out of a book.
Yeah.
And so I used to get mad. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't copy this out. And so I write something down for them.
Right. Right.
And so-
Just on the spot. You
On the
just
spot,
write down.
right
Okay,
down. I
yeah.
said, well, you just make up a title.
Yeah.
So I write it down for them. And so this went on about 2 months, and finally the Lord said, look here. He said, you going by this all wrong. He said, if they saying book, and you know you write down book, and then put it in the book. And I was
Right.
like, you know what, Lord, that makes, and so everyone they said book,
Yeah.
they said that you copied out of a book. That
It
I
went
wrote
in
it
the
down. I put it down in the book. But by me writing it down for everybody at the thing, they knew that this stuff wasn't copied. I told them, well, go find it, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
But it was a different way. I believe it was a different way. The Lord showing me
Yeah.
what needed to be in the book.
Yeah.
Because these people was telling me that this was the book.
Yeah, so
But I was
you knew
taking
that
it
was
to-
a good one.
yeah.
That was too
But-
good to be yours. You have to have copied it
Out of the
down
book, yeah.
out of a book. So that was your sign from God that that poem goes in your
In the book, yeah. So
That's amazing. But God is amazing.
yeah, he's always amazing.
Yes, he is.
Because like I said, his ideas are not our his thoughts are not our thoughts, and
No.
you be like, Lord, why did you do this?
Yeah.
And that's the same way, and it's in the book, like in 2008, my son died at birth.
Right.
And-
right.
And
yeah.
so I was like, up here in your hospital, so I was like, Lord, I said, why, but I was walking out to the smoke shack. I don't smoke the cigarettes or nothing, but I walked out to the smoke shack, I was like, Lord, I thought you weren't gonna put no more on me than I could bear.
Right.
And so I went out there and I was crying. So this woman, I've never met this woman in my life, and she was like, why are you crying? I said, because my son died.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, well, and so she was talking to me and everything, and then she was like, she got these funeral home people and all this, she's good friends with them and everything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, whatever. So I went back up to my room, still calling, trying to get my son buried and everything.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't get nothing locked in, and so I was frustrated again, so I went back downstairs again, because I had to get away from that whole scene.
Right.
And so when I got down to the steps, the woman said, well, hey, where you been? I've been looking for you.
Yeah.
And I said, up there trying to get my son buried. She said, well, you don't got to go through that. She said, we got the funeral home director, the preacher, and all this right here coming, and they gonna bury your son.
Yeah.
And so I was like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And so then we went up. When the funeral home director got there, he was like, well, I got this white casket, $50. So
Yeah.
I was finna pay him the $50. The woman that was at the church, she was like, no, you're not paying nothing. God told us to help you.
Right.
So right then I knew, well, because I told God before that, I said, God, even if you don't save my son, I'm still going to do your ministry.
Exactly.
And so right then he was showing me that even though you going through this, I'm going through this with you.
Right.
Because he knew it was going to be too much for me trying to deal with the loss of my son and trying to bury him too.
Yeah.
So he took that part out of the equation. And I, like I said, and these people was from Fulton, and I never met these people in my life, but it's just showing you the power. God can do whatever he wants to do, whenever he decides to do it. He can decide to bless you whenever he wants to. And see, once you realize that, then you can go with a peaceful mind that you can walk with this, you got somebody that's got your back
Yeah.
the whole time, not like these people that say, I got your back.
Yeah.
And then when trouble comes, they run.